Roger Marsh was arrested on a weapons charge a short time later. The SLV Just Us group disbanded. The county decided to drop some of the proposed land use changes, but the sovereign movement continued to play a role in Costilla County politics. In early 2016, Ben Dune started receiving many of the same types of subpoenas, harassing letters that Garnett would also get in Boulder. Dune has kept all the letters inside a manila envelope in a file cabinet, some of them still unopened. The missives began arriving shortly after he wrote a letter responding to a front page article in Alamosa's daily newspaper, the Valley Courier. With the headline, Grand Jury Indicts Costilla County Officials, Dune found that headline extremely misleading, he said, because the grand jury in question was actually the People's Grand Jury being co-organized by Doucette in Denver. Dune's strongly worded rebuttal, which the Valley Courier published a day after the original article, explained that the indictment was a fake and quoted from the Southern Poverty Law Center's description of the sovereign citizen movement. The complete description is on the SPLC website. The contemporary sovereign belief system is based on a decades-old conspiracy theory. At some point in history, sovereigns believe that the American government set up by the founding fathers with a legal system the sovereigns refer to as common law was secretly replaced by a new government system based on admiralty law, the law of the sea, and international commerce. Under common law, or so they believe, the sovereigns would be free men. Under admiralty law, they are slaves, and secret government forces have a vested interest in keeping them that way. But Ben Dune's response only brought him more unwelcome attention. From then on, harassment was coming in from two fronts. We had folks off the grid here. Then from Denver, there was a bigger movement, he recalls. Even if their numbers are low compared to other people who just want to be left alone for one reason or another and don't have the means to comply, these folks are much more aggressive and threatening, so one or two of them equals the headache of 50 other people. And Doucette soon added to that headache. This is Bruce Doucette. All these major names are gone. Over Easter weekend 2016, he and another Superior Court judge traveled to Costilla County to swear in at least one constitutional officer as part of the movement, witnessing as he took the oath of office. That's going to be Jeremy Costilla. He's going to take the oath of office, and he's going to say he is some kind of fucking police officer, act like he's a fucking police officer. And then he's going to get arrested for impersonating a police officer. So we'll get back to this. Looking at the neighbors of Xanis McDonald. The Samantha and Xanis McDonald are part of the right-wing movement. They were some perverts. They're going to get arrested. He's going to get a 40-year sentence. I'm not sure what happened to her. But his name's off the deed. The house is gone. They're gone. So all this is gone. All the major ones are gone. But I'm just kind of curious because there was neighbors. Edward C. Brewster, for example. Edward C. Brewster, he bought his property on Seminole Trail in 2005. So he could have known the McDonald's the entire time, 4 to 5 years, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. They didn't just commit crimes those 5 years, but they were committing crimes in Pennsylvania and Alabama. And then they came to Costilla County, and for 5 years they committed crimes. And was Edward C. Brewster maybe just off to himself, right? He didn't know who these people were. James E. Bax and Eunice F. Bowman, they were there for a year and a half. They bought their property in 2016. So they could have known the McDonald's. The McDonald's were just right up the road from James E. Bax and Eunice F. Bowman, just right up the road. So they could have known Xanis for a year and a half. James E. Bax and Eunice F. Bowman. Edward C. Brewster could have known them the entire time, 4 to 5 years. Nick Villela, he bought his property 2012. He could have known them the entire time, 4 to 5 years. He made a joke about the diarrhea of Anne Frank. I mean, is that clever? Is that supposed to be funny or something? Because, my God, I tried to get the librarian to pass out the diarrhea of Anne Frank. So I think Anne Frank humanizes us. After World War II, people looked around and said, okay, my God, you all were doing atrocities. We were doing atrocities. Who are we? And they read the diary of Anne Frank and they said, that's who we are. That's what I believe. Also love Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's incredible. But Nick Villela, who's got a copy of Mein Kampf on his bookshelf, He doesn't seem to be connected to the larger sovereign movement, but he did say something about sovereign something, and he also said something about knowing the McDonald's, so he knew them for a little bit. Jacqueline P. Mitchell, she could have known the McDonald's for 2 to 3 years. She had, a 20-something-year-old son. He could have known them too. They bought that property November 12, 2015. They recorded it November 30th, 2015. Now, Jacqueline P. Mitchell, a.k.a. Jinx, sold it to just over 5 years later to Sharona Vacny and Gary Gonzalez. That's interesting. This is parcel 715-24030. Sale date December 14, 2020. And they recorded it the day after, on the 15th. So, and then apparently Vacny and Gonzalez have rented it out to some piece of shit named Phil Greeny. Is that what happened? So let's see. Jacqueline Mitchell buys this property in 2015, November 2015. Sold it December 2020. So that means Jacqueline P. Mitchell could have known Xanis and Samantha McDonald for 2 to 3 years. For 2 to 3 years. Hiram Richardson, parcel number 715-23860. Hiram L. Richardson, P.O. Box 189, Horoso, Colorado 81138. Make sure he, stays established, right? He started lying to me when he knows a lot of he most likely, he lived right next door to the McDonald's, one of the closest people to the McDonald's for 4 to 5 years. Recorded date July 24, 2017, but he had bought it in 2013 apparently, but didn't get recorded till 2017. He's out there. He's weird. He's sneaky. He lives in the house that looks like it's on meth. So, he could have known the McDonald's. He said he bought the thing 2013. They were there 2013. He could have known them for 4 to 5 years. Most likely did. He knows Nick. He knows Jacqueline. And they knew him. So why wouldn't Hiram have known him either? Samuel Lee Jepson, Cynthia Lee. I want to say that this is green blazer assholes. I want to say these two assholes. Well, I'm just speculating. But I want to say when I first moved to Costilla County in November 2019 and my RV quits as soon as I passed the Labatt Bridge, I needed a chain to pull up. I had a strap but no chain. They said they'd come back. They never came back. I pulled it up by myself with a strap, but I had to be so super slow, so super careful. If I just had one person sitting in the chair to, drive it, once I got it to the top, the strap snaps. So, barely got the damn thing there by my goddamn self. So thanks, but no thanks. And then I think these assholes, I'm going to get to an argument with these assholes, and they're going to threaten to do something terrible to my dog. So, these are the green blazer people. The house, I'm not sure who drives the green blazer, if it's Samuel or Cynthia or one of their renters. But the house of Samuel Jepson and Cynthia Lee is a criminal house. They bought it June 3rd, 2015. Felony menacing, harassing, non-stop vehicular reckless driving. 2015 quit claim deed. So, Samuel Jepson, Cynthia Lee, they bought their property in Lipin Trail, which is just, down Seminole Trail, 1643, parcel 715-17380. They bought it 2015, June the 3rd. So that's halfway, right? They could have known the McDonald's for 2 to 3 years. They also had a quit claim deed for $10 and a warranty deed, which cost them $20,000. Which for only 5 acres, but then there's a house on there, so maybe they bought some of the property too, but 20 grand, I don't know. Okay, so P.O. Box 55, Horoso, Colorado 81138 for legal papers if you need to send them any legal papers. McDonald's, let's see, Cynthia Rose Lee, Samuel Lee Jepson, joint ownership of that property, 1643 Lipin Trail. Kevin Bertini, parcel 715-17800-1196 Mariposa Trail, joint ownership with Robert Roman. The same address has come up, P.O. Box 445, Manassas, Colorado 81141. I wonder if that's the address of the post office box. The sale date was June 5th, 2013. The recording date was June 13th, 2013. Meaning Kevin Bertini could have known the McDonald's, Xanis, and Samantha the entire time they lived there for 4 to 5 years.